I said, hey,
Okay,
I've got
it
a couple
is.
things going on in Oklahoma. I could use your help bringing some things from Florida over
Okay.
here. And we ended up doing that. He ended up coming out here. And I remember that we had an issue with the grower at the time who hasn't, unfortunately, we had to go our separate ways. And my son's like, Dad, I'm just going to dive right in. I'm like,
He's
you
like, got
dive
some
right in?
knowledge, right?
He's like, yeah, I've researched this on YouTube. I think I got it. I'm like, okay, well, let's jump on it. I mean, he had a successful first grow. Obviously, it's nowhere near where he's at now, but he's been in the game for less than 3 years, 2 years now, I think it is.
Okay.
And he's growing some of the most absolute fire in the state. It's not just because he's my son. It's because when you give people an opportunity and you take away the barriers to entry,
Yeah.
there's people that are going to shine. They're going to revolutionize the way we do things. That's why in these other states where you have to be a multi-million-dollar corporation to get into it,
Yeah.
that's not true cannabis, man.
No.
That's monetized cannabis.
Yeah.
This is a real market.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I get to make a product, she gets to make a product, and we get to put that on the market, let the patients decide what's good medicine or what's a good product. You know what I'm saying? Not the people who have the most money to buy a license.
Yeah.
So we're really enjoying that, and as we grow, we're starting to meet new companies that are in it, that have been here for a little while, that have their sights on growing outside of Oklahoma.
Bigger things, different things.
But it all started here. So the SOPs that were built here, the procedures, the things that we built here are going to be always forever known. Icy Melts is always going to be known as an Oklahoma product.
Like that.
Okay.
I like that.
No matter whether we came from Miami or not, this is the state that gave us the opportunity. So, we want to do the best that we can here in our home state, and then take that passion to other states and let people know what Oklahoma did.
Yeah, let's go. I
know
like
what I mean?
all of that. I like all of that.
Hi, I'm David Trujillo with Icy Melts Extracts, and we're here today in Key Largo, Florida, just to bring you a little piece of where I grew up, my background, a little bit about who we are, where we come from, and what inspired us to become Icy Melts. I know these keys like the back of my hand, and all the fishing spots here. This is a place that just brings me back to my childhood. It inspires me in so many different ways, from the culture, the food, the music, the way of life here. And this is one of the places where I started to really get excited about the possibilities of getting into or entering into the cannabis industry. So out here in the Florida Keys, one of the things that we love to do is catch fish. It's something that we love to do as a family. We get together, we experience the time together, going out, catching fish, bringing it back in, preparing it our way, right? Playing with different spices, different temperatures, different ways of putting it together. And it's been a tradition of ours for over 30 years. And it's very similar to the way we've played in our solventless hash lab, playing with different concentrates, playing with different forms of cannabis, bringing new ideas to the table. I hope you guys love our products as much as I love this place. This is a place that I adore, and for me, moving and leaving this place is a big deal. But because of the passion that we have for the patients of Oklahoma, for the medicine that we are now making through Icy Melts, we've decided to do that. And I wanted to take this time here to shoot a little bit kind of my hometown, my background, just show you guys a little bit about what we do, how we enjoy our life day to day. And the patients of Oklahoma have welcomed us. They love our brand, they love our medicine. We are fully dedicated to Icy Melts and providing the best possible cannabis the state can have. So I hope you guys enjoyed spending some time with us here in the Florida Keys, seeing where we come from, what drives our passion. And we are coming to bring everything that we've learned and all the passion we have here with us and bring it to you for your benefit.
It's
And
not
so-
only a recreational decision, for people to enjoy that, pairing of cannabis. We found that when you layer different cultivars, you're going to be hitting certain receptors in the endocannabinoid system that not just one cannabinoid
Correct.
or a set of cannabinoids
Yeah.
might affect. That's why you find people that gravitate to one strain over another for a medicinal reason.
Yeah.
Right? So we're learning that it's not just THC, CBD, CBN,
Yeah.
CBG
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
are responsible for even killing cancer cells. There are unnamed cannabinoids in the plant still
Yeah.
that are responsible for things like that, and it's happening every single time.
All the time.
In the Petri dish.
All the
I mean,
time.
you put it in these cannabinoids, cancer gone, dead. They can't explain it, right? And then we have parts of the endocannabinoid system that are not just the CB1, CB2 receptors. There's so many more receptors that are unidentified that
Correct.
we need to really focus on. And
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we like to do is we like to make medicine that affects all those receptors,
Full spec.
right? Full spectrum. So we
that.
tried to do that in the most natural, in the cleanest way possible, and we found that to be ice water extraction.
Okay, and it is. I
You know,
believe
we
so
really
as well.
enjoy that. So, you know, we have some new products coming out that are going to showcase cultivars,
Okay.
you know, that growers are going to be growing, where you've got strain-specific flower, ice water hash, and rosin on a smokable product. That could be either a glass tip that we put on the end of
Nice.
that. It could be a crutch that was designed by somebody working in-house with us.
Okay. A crutch, what's a crutch?
A crutch is kind of like
What
a
do you-
filter that,
Okay.
you know, is designed in a way to support the material that's inside.
Aye.
Right,
So
and it's
still
something you can
filtered.
toss after you're done. You don't have to feel bad because it's glass and you got to throw it
Okay.
out. You know, it's a little bit different. Some of these are biodegradable already, so it's in
Nice.
line with the environment and what we're trying to do. I think for us, it has been extremely humbling, because when you start to recognize that what you're putting your passion into is actually changing someone's life for the better,
And it can change.
you know, and you know how they're using it, how they're experiencing. We've heard from so many people that have used our medicine and say, honestly, if I wouldn't have found icy melts, you know, I'd still be looking for
Alright.
that solution. And I think it's because we pay a lot of attention to how we put together our products, and
Yeah, you're just
and we're
not
going to
product
continue to
putting.
do that into, you know, forever, as long as I'm around.
Hey guys, Perry Jones III, PJ3, checking in with you. We're sitting down, getting ready to speak with Jace, what Touched by Cannabis. You don't want to miss this. So we got Jace here, good friend of mine. We've known each other now about 5 years.
Yeah.
Actually helped me to get started into the industry. And now he is in our state with his brand called Touched by Cannabis. So like Jace, thank you for taking the time to get ready to introduce yourself and like expand on our friendship and all this good stuff, man. I'm proud of you, man.
You're welcome. Thank you for talking with me, Perry.
Definitely. Everybody always wants to know these things, and that's what I want to get from you, right? And so the first one is like, how did you get started in this industry?
Cannabis has been in my family since the 30s. So it's been something that it's always been in my family growing up for generations. My great-grandfather grew cannabis to support our family. He was a coal miner in Colorado.
Okay.
And so that was one of those things that was supplemental income. I guess it's kind of natural that we ended up here.
How did you come up with what your standard is?
When I started growing plants and more of them, I just realized this is a manufacturing process that needs to be sustainable and reproducible and maintain that level of quality all the way start to finish. I've been growing cannabis for 17 years now. When I first started growing cannabis, I was a fighter jet mechanic and a satellite mechanic. And so I did it as a hobby and for my own personal medicine.
Right.
And that just kind of evolved into this passion that I have now.
17 years. Jeez. All right. I love that. That says a lot, like commitment, consistency, you know, and really taking the time to find, like you said, medicine. So you've been medicating yourself for a while now. Who are you now? That's who you were when you started in this industry. Who's Jace now?
Well, as that passion progressed, we became caregivers for children with cancer. And so we've always been patient advocates and educators, and I think that's still who we are today. It's in a different state than we started in that has all new new ways that this plant needs to be used. So over 17 years of cultivation, I've tried every style of growing there is. So I've done deep water culture, I've done hydroponics, I've done soil containers, I've done no-till in beds, and what I've really come to understand and have a focus in is Korean natural farming or natural farming in itself. And so that's where the natural portion of the NICE acronym comes in, because as I've continued this educational path, it's brought me to the point that I need to bring nature into my grow to provide the best that this plant can do. We can adjust environments and we can do those things, but if we're feeding in the same way nature does, one, it's safe in consumption because of the lack of pesticides or fertilizers that are used. And it's also cost efficient and affordable.
What do you think will be the future of your style and your product?
I'd like to see the future of this style expanded upon throughout the industry because, one, we utilize a lot of consumables in this industry. If we're throwing away medium or we're using water-soluble salts that can contaminate waterways, those are all ways that this process can be improved on, along the way of being affordable for a business owner. Because this is a very expensive industry to be in, any way that I can teach people to be more affordable and more sustainable, those are ways that I feel that it's beneficial in not just the product that's produced, but in the cost of doing that. I believe that there's a point where the people who are growing the product get a fair market price for what they're growing, and all the way through that the end user and patient isn't being gouged for a product that isn't the quality that they want, or it's radically marked up to an unaffordable medicine.
Right.
When it comes back to the name of our business, right? It comes back to the name of it that is Touched by Cannabis, and that's because we felt we're touching people's lives through what we're doing with this plant. Heck
Man,
yeah.
Jace, listen, I can't wait to show everybody everything that you've got here. Guys, make sure to get out and check out Jason, Touched by Cannabis. He's not only a dear friend of mine, but he is a person who is actually impacting the world and doing it in a multitude of ways. So thank you for your impact on this world. Thank you for your friendship. And man, I just can't wait to film you again. Let's do some more, right?
You bet. You
All
bet.
right, man. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Follow up.
My goodness. I told you it was delicious, right? I said that I had something special for you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we have Miss Stephanie here from Yum Sweet Leaf. And let me tell you, whoo, no, hold on, we're doing it. See, this is why I need that button. I'm going to get that button to just clap, automatic clap. So that's what that is.
Yes.
Welcome, young lady.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Thank you so much for blessing us with your presence
Thank
today.
you. I'm
We're
happy
so
to be
excited
here.
to have you on. This has been a few weeks in the making as well, guys. We've been working on this, and now time has really made itself presentable, and it's worked great, and you've been able to come and show us some greatness. Guys, I'm holding this box because I'm just fascinated by some of the things that we get to have here in our state, right? And then the creative minds that are bringing some of these products and medicines to the patients of Oklahoma. I'm looking and holding this box because when I show you guys, I mean, if I'm surprised, I hope you guys get surprised. I hadn't seen this yet, but you're so creative.
Oh, thank you.
You're so creative. I'm going to
Yes.
show them real quick what we have. Look at this. So not only is this the box, right? But then, bam, you get to open up. And it's crazy because there's cookies on the inside. And they're all individual. And it's a creative package all the way around. And I'm just fascinated by what you have here.
Thank
and so,
you.
like, look at that. Look at that. And then here. And so she really did some creativeness with this and then added her stickers in here for you to take
Oh,
too.
yes,
But
yeah.
again, look at this.
Yes.
You get to see exactly what it is. And this one is cookies and cream,
Yes,
right?
this is a Yum cookies and cream, and I like that window in my box so that you can see what you're buying.
Right.
And you know, there's no mold. They're not broken. They're not crumbly. They don't look all stale and icky. So I put the window in my box because I wanted every patient to see what you're buying.
Oh,
And because I know there's a lot of things. Well, when we first started, right, OMA has all the rules with packaging.
Right,
It has
correct.
to be opaque, you know, not attractive to children, all of that. So I thought, well, how can I get around that where the patient can actually see what they're buying and know it's going to be a great product? And I thought, well, my flap, I'm just going to put a flap over the window so then they can just open the flap up and see the cookies and you know.
So creative.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I just, you know, guys, I know I would have been like, oh, well, I mean, I guess they're going to need to buy it. She's like, no, we're going to put a flap.
Yes,
It's so
yes.
awesome. It looks so
Thank
great.
you so
Thank
much.
you so much for blessing us with you today,
I am
man.
so excited. I'm so excited for you to try them too. So you
Oh, yeah,
get
we're
to
definitely
try
gonna do-
those.
So-
And I brought unmedicated ones because no one likes to just chow down on an edible. Like you kind of got to
Yeah, you
plan
gotta
for
have
that.
something. You
Yes,
definitely have to
You
plan
gotta
for
plan
it.
for that. So I brought unmedicated Yum cookies.
Look at
This
this.
is my
Super
original.
stoked.
How I started was baking unmedicated cookies. So you got
Oh,
the
wow.
OG.
I got the
of
OG?
Yes.
This is it.
Oh,
So
yes.
you said it. You started with
I started
Obviously.
out baking.
Okay.
Actually, my shirt that I always
Yum
wear
Cookies
is Yum Cookies
by
by
Steph.
Steph, and that's how I
That's so
started
awesome.
in the cannabis industry. Or not
Okay.
in the cannabis industry. I started in the baking because
In the baking industry,
I am from an
okay.
oil and gas background because
Okay.
I'm born and raised in Oklahoma. So
Okay.
you know everybody either here you work in oil and gas or now cannabis. So,
That's literally where
I
you're at
know,
now.
It's like the two
Or
industries. Yes.
I'm in both.
Exactly. And so back in like November of 2019, the oil and gas industry started to crash. And the company I worked for, people would outsource their accounting to us. So
Okay.
we started noticing people kind of drawing back, taking their work back because they were trying to cut corners, you
corners.
know. So I thought, you know what? I mean, I love baking. My mom would make cakes out of the home when growing up. Like, so I grew up with
You're all-
baking,
it's in you.
cooking, all of that.
Okay.
My maiden name is Baker, so that doesn't say anything.
Let's go.
I
Let's
know.
go.
So I was like, okay. So it was kind of just born in me. And so I thought, how awesome would it be to bake cookies for a
Right.
living? And so I started just baking cookies out of my home. And my first deal was the Cascia Hall Christmas Walk. I baked all these cookies. I set up my little booth. And still to this day, I use that same little booth as my pop-ups. So when you see me out there with
If it
my
ain't
little,
broke, don't
my little
fix it.
denim skirt on my,
Yes.
that's my,
All right, guys,
yes.
shout out. When you see her out there, let me tell you, she's evolving so much.
I'm
when
telling
you see her,
you,
though,
yes.
just know that's the OG.
That
on
was
there.
the OG, my OG skirt. And I always
Okay.
feel self-conscious about it, but hey, you know, you got to do what you got to do. So, but I started just baking out of my home. And so my husband is a firefighter.
Okay.
And so he loves to cook as well. And so eventually he's tired of flour everywhere and cookies and all that. And he's like, I'm going to buy you some commercial ovens. And I'm like, okay.
Commercial ovens.
Yes,
Let's
yes.
go.
So I'm like, let's go. So being
Kitchen
a
upgrade.
yeah, being in the fireman world, everybody has a hookup. So he
Yes.
put the word out, we need some commercial ovens. Sure enough, there was a fireman that owned a dispensary that had just bought all of these ovens and the whole baking, like the pans, the racks, everything, because he was going to try to make edibles for his
Okay.
dispensary. And so he's like, dude, you can have these. I'll sell these to you. You got it.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, well, me being, you know, green to all the whole baking, small business stuff, I thought I could just build out my dining room into like a little commercial kitchen. But no, that goes
Yes,
against
that
the
goes,
health department rule.
Ah, the meatloaf.
I know. So I was like, so then we started looking for a little place to build out. Well,
Okay.
in the meantime, the guy who owned the dispensary said, would she be interested in making cannabis cookies? And at the time, I'm working at my oil and gas job, to plugging numbers, counting everybody else's money. And I got off the phone with my husband, and I was like, man, he just asked me if I wanted to bake cannabis cookies.
Right.
And they all turned around and said, you should do it. And I was like, what?
Uh-oh.
And so I'm like, okay,
That lit the
let me
spark.
think about it. And
Okay.
so I started researching and to try to figure out, you know, how would I do this? And first I took him my original cookie, and
The OG.
I met him, and he looked at that and he goes, I would pay $20 for this cookie if it had cannabis in it. And I was like, what? And I'm
right.
like
It's a
selling
big
those for
cookie.
like $3.
Yeah,
So
this is
I'm like,
this
hold
is a
on.
big cookie right here.
Yes.
This is good. I'm
I was
excited
like,
to eat this damn thing.
I'm thinking, okay, let me
Okay.
do the math. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, I think I can do this. And so I literally started watching videos. I got books. I started reading. I figured
Okay.
it all out. I mean, I had to learn from the beginning of like decarbing the marijuana, making it in the butter. So, and I chose
Oh,
Kerrygold.
you went the whole way.
I did the
like
old
that.
school
Okay,
method.
okay.
So I decarb first for 2 hours. It's a very lengthy process. So 2 hours decarbing. Then I would go slow roast my butter, my cannabis in my butter, and I would use Kerrygold organic grass-fed butter because it's rich with all the
Yes, it
fats and
is.
it would like
Yes,
soak
it
up all the
is.
plant material. So once I did that, then I would have to strain it, you know, using my hand, squeezing it out, straining it, and I made my butter sticks.
If you've never done it, guys,
It
it is
is-
a tedious
Oh my
task.
gosh, it is such a process.
But I mean,
Yes.
what we've grown to now that helps to
Yes.
simplify, you know, like you said, you
Yes.
started in one way and now I'm
Yes.
sure that's evolved.
It
now,
has
right?
evolved. Well, no, I was doing it that old school method the whole time. This whole time, I would
Wow. Mm-hmm.
buy my cannabis, I would make it into butter, then I would bake my cookies with the butter sticks that I made, good. And so I use my original recipes and just substituted out with the canna butter. And then I'd put a little bit extra richness in there because when you, it's like baking with baked like brown butter. So it's a little bit drier butter. And so now it's like I got to add some more fats in, but made my recipes.
Don't tell them everything.
I know,
Hey,
I'm not
guys,
going to tell you
listen,
my
she can't
magical
give you all-
recipes.
I can give you all the details
No,
of it.
no. Yes.
You explained now the new partnership. Congratulations on that. Like, this is just
Thank
compounding
you.
greatness on top
Oh
of
my
each
gosh.
other, right?
I am like so honored to work with Chef Joey because he is really chefy and he's taught me so many good things.
I love that word, chefy.
Oh my gosh.
He's really
Yes.
chefy.
And he
They're
really
chefing it up. I like the
he
chefy.
cares about his products. He loves
Shout out
you know
Chef
how
Joey.
Yes, he's amazing and he's taught me a lot about FICO because obviously I didn't work with FICO, and he's very particular about the FICO, what types of terpenes are in it, you know,
Nice.
and the strain specific. And I mean, he is all about cannabis, and then having the chef background to go hand in hand. I mean,
Helps.
it's the perfect combination. And I love that he's particular because,
Yeah.
like you, obviously, if I'm gonna have a window, I don't want some ratty looking
There better
cookie
be something in
there.
that window.
Yes, and so he can make sure that that happens. But
Yeah.
I've been doing this all by myself this whole time.
Wow.
And what is really funny is when I met Icy Melts at Kush 420 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
I also met Chef Joey. And in
Wow.
my
Fast forward. Let's
yes,
go.
and so in my head, I thought Yum needs to be under the umbrella of Delta Oil.
Okay. And
yes.
now?
And so
And
now,
guys, let me tell you again, the shirt was not scripted. These two
Yes.
being guests at the exact time
Yes.
today was not
Yes.
scripted.
Right.
And then, you know, the story on
Yes.
that back end, again, not scripted.
No.
This is just that synergy that when good things start to, you know, cultivate, they start to get
Yes.
around each other. And
Yeah.
that synergy is just very electrifying. And that's what's
Yes.
happening right now. And so,
yeah.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Carollo, and I am with Yum Sweet Leaf Cookies. We are baking some cookies today, so come on in and check out my kitchen. We have a batch of Yumalish chip going right now. So we've already mixed the butter together. We've added all of the wet ingredients. We're going to toss in some flour and get these cookies going. All right, these are our mini FICO cookies made with birthday cake strain. The FICO oil is provided by Delta Oil Co. And these are the Yumalish chip flavor. So they are super delicious. They're like your traditional chocolate chip cookie, but they're in mini form. So we are testing these at 10 milligrams each. You'll get 5 in a pack, so it would be like a 50 milligram pack. So a little 5-pack, these are more my dose, like the low dose patient. So I'm hoping a lot of people will enjoy these for either their nighttime treat or microdosing all day long. We're so excited to be partnering with Delta Oil Co. to put our FICO in these cookies so we can scale our business a little. These tested at 8.56 milligrams. We were shooting for 10s. The FICO cookie looks more like your normal cookie. Those of you that have had Yum Sweet Leaf cookies in the past that are made with the canna butter, I know you're getting some footage of that green butter, but that's what makes my cookies have that green tinge. They still taste great, and they taste like fresh flour too. These with the FICO, FICO is more of a brown color, so it really complements the look of the cookie and the cookie dough. Full spectrum, so you get all the medicinal benefits, all the cannabinoids, terpenes, everything. And you can look at my COA. The big terpene that popped in this one was humulene, which is an appetite suppressant. And we'll be right back, and I'll make some bigger chocolate chip cookies for the higher dose patient. So what we're making now is the Yumalish chip, which is made with our canna butter. And the canna butter is Orange Flambe strain, which was grown by Bud, Sweat, and Tears. So we just make these dough balls a little bit bigger. Actually, those minis that I made are this dough ball broken into 5 pieces. This is your full serving. And so the Orange Flambe strain is really unique because it actually smells like oranges when you open the package. It's like, ooh, yes. There we are. Okay. Thank you for visiting the Yum Sweet Leaf Kitchen today. I enjoyed baking with you, so we'll see you soon.
Right.
We're going to get ready to take a quick break here in just a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on. Just.
It's hard to put them down. I'm telling you.
It's a chocolate chip.
Did you guys get? Oh, the cookies and cream. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Sorry. Listen, that video.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the butter, when we were cutting
that's
that.
what I mean. Yes. Okay. So the canna butter is how I started, and so you can see how green the canna butter was in that video. So needless to say, that would kind of transfer into my cookies, and they would have a green tinge. So my beautiful window, which would like showcase my cookies that had a little green tinge, but I'm like, at least you know the cannabis is in there, right?
Right. I mean, that's the first thought.
Yes, yes. And so, and it does have a cannabis flavor, and it is a little bit of a green flavor because it's like the real green plant cannabis.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes. Full spec.
yes, full spectrum and strain specific.
That's
so
a key part right
that
there.
That is what I believe in 100%. And so I started out, I thought, well, everybody knows these strains, that strain. Like Granddaddy Purple was one of my first. And I thought everyone knows what that is. Well, then I changed my box so that we put a little spectrum on there. I don't know if you can see it. It's this little colored barcode, and it starts with stimulating to sedating. And so I mark that for the patients now because there's so many strains out now.
Yeah.
So you don't know. Like Granddaddy Purple, you're like, oh, it's an indica, it's sedating. I know what that one does. But now you get like Asahi Gelato. Well, what the heck is that? Well, my Asahi Gelato is more stimulating. So I mark it on the box because I think of like, what if it was my mom and she wanted to buy a cookie that is going to help her sleep at night, and then she gets a sativa and is like off her rocker all night long. So that's why I'm trying to.
And it's long lasting as well, being an edible.
Yes.
So
it does last.
Like the effects are a lot different, right?
For
and so,
sure.
yeah,
Yes.
way to be so thoughtful. And I think that's one of the other great things about a lot of the entrepreneurs into the industry, especially the people we're having on our show. They're really passionate about their part of what they're bringing to the market. And so I just think that's super amazing, your thoughtfulness of the end user, right? And that really helps for the education so they can continue to have the product.
Well,
right?
and in line with that, my flap, I pretty much wrote a small novel here. And I've come to find, I think people really don't read it, but if you ever find, the chance to read my 10 paragraphs, I just want to explain to the customer or the patient, like, what you're getting yourself into. Like, I don't want you to take this lightly. Like,
Yum
you're about
Sweet
to have an
Leaf
experience.
cookies are handcrafted in small batches with the highest quality ingredients. This results in a rich and decadent treat. Our canna butter is made by slow roasting whole plant cannabis and organic grass-fed butter. This method provides full spectrum infusion and creates the entourage effect. This allows your endocannabinoid system to access the full range of the active compounds, including THC, CBD, medically beneficial minor terpenes, and flavonoids.
Yes, yes. Happy birthday, Uncle Bob.
Happy birthday, Bob.
And 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Test, 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 test. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Drummer was needing some. He's got his headset.
Yeah, he's got control of it.
Yeah. There you go. World domination.
Yeah. Some of mine. Here's some of mine. Hey, Jason, here's some of mine. Would you like to hear the bass? Jason, would you like to hear the bass, please? Hey, Jason.
We're the Stylies,
I'm
y'all.
loud. I'm crispy. You can turn me into my mom voice down if you like. Hey, chicky, chick, 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 chick. Yeah, that's good. Hey, perfect.
So y'all doing all right? All right, let's get into the Bob, shall we?
How are your bellies?
Feeling all right. How about you?
Your belly's good?
My vocals are good. I can hear myself. I can hear you. I can hear the crowd.
Your belly, is it full? Is your belly full?
The belly full but the hungry. An angry mob is an angry mob. The belly full but the dirty tough. The butter cook but the food not enough. We're gonna dance to your music. Yeah. We're gonna dance to your music. Dance. Forget your troubles and dance. Forget your weakness and dance. Forget your sorrow and dance. Ready for but be hungry. An angry mom is an angry mom. A better fool but the dirty tough. The butter cook but the human enough. An angry mom is an angry mom. A better fool but the dirty tough. The butter cook but the food not enough. A better fall but the dirty tough. Hey, we're shocking to your music. Shocking. Shocking to your music. Shocking. Cost of living gets so high, rich and poor they start to cry. Now the weak must get strong and say, oh, what a tribulation. Belly full of the hungry. An angry mom is an angry mom. The rain of folk, dirty tough. The butter cook, but the food not enough. The rain of fall, but the dirty tough. The snow will fall, but the dirty tough. The ice will melt, but the dirty tough. An angry mom is an angry mom. Woke up this morning with you on my mind. I must be dreaming of running late. You're so elusive with a softest smile. I freeze this moment like a million times. Hey, I wanna know, I just wanna hold your hand. Hey, it's gonna be alright. Hey, really understand. Hey, it's gonna show, 'cause I wanna know, 'cause I wanna dance all night. T-Town, make some noise, y'all. Familiar faces, those warm embraces. When I touch you, I breathe so deep. My world buckles, your heart suckles. Just feel the beat and hold on tight. Hey, when we go, I wanna go. I just wanna hold your hand. Hey, can we eat? It's gonna be alright. Hey, usually late, gonna do it. Really understand. Hey, it's gonna show, 'cause I wanna know, 'cause I wanna dance all night. You guys feel the electricity right now on the guitar. I just wanna hold your hand. Hey, can we eat? With a Santana style. Hey, I'm usually late. I don't do it. Really understand. Hey, it's gonna show, 'cause I wanna know, 'cause I wanna dance all night. Thank you guys.
I don't know about you, but sometimes life just exudes a great amount of pressure. And I feel like I'm under that pressure. But nobody's paying attention. Hey Jason, I like your shirt. He's a very handsome man.
What's up, y'all? Hey, it's Bob Marley's birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr.
That's a big deal. We're so honored and so glad to be here. I'm just saying what's up to Sasha, of course, Donnie, everybody here at the venue Shrine, legendary venue, one of our favorite stages in Tulsa to play. We're the Stylies, bringing reggae music worth your while. Y'all feeling all right?
Here's a song.
to the sky. So much weight on their mind. The truth is so hard to find. I need it, you need it. That's why I'm playing I say, life under pressure. Life under pressure. Life under pressure. Life under pressure. We've got to live our lives. We've got to live free from strife. Removing the obstacles. Removing them one by one. Don't let them break you down. And don't let them push you around. I'm saying, I'm praying. That's why I say, life under pressure. Life under pressure. Life under pressure. Life under pressure. Now pressure we got to remove. This is a righteous groove.
man. Oh shit! All right. Well, you say I didn't. Hey guys, welcome. We are live, man. It's Perry Jones III, and guys, listen. Guess who I have with me tonight? We have some special guests. These are the Hangouts. I love it. We've got Dr. Jason Sims, and check this out. We've got Petty Fox. You hear them all the time, but now we get to speak with them. So this is going to be a great episode. We're super excited about being here tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're literally going to do a great show. I mean, this show today is going to be a catch-up show. Usually we go in with different guests and we have products and we talk about things that are, empowering their businesses and who they are and introductions. Tonight, we're going to make it personal. We're going to learn about me. We're going to learn about Dr. Sims, Dr. Jason Sims. We're going to learn about Petty Fox, and we're going to catch up with current events, and we're going to tell you about this marketplace, man. That's what it is, and so we're going to talk about the locals. Guys, thank you for coming on tonight. Petty Fox, thanks for being back. Welcome back to town, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
You know it. Dr. Sims, thank you for being able to come on tonight. A lot of things to talk about, questions I have to ask you with what's happening right now, but I like it. And so, man, let's go right into it, guys. Let's talk about some current events. Can we talk about some current events, things that's happening? There's been a lot of shakeup happening in the medical market for the state of Oklahoma right now, right? Last week we were talking about the vote happening, and then now, the vote has happened. And for those that don't know, last week, March 7th, it was...
Firm no.
Firm no. Fermenting no is what that was. And so it was last week, there was the vote in the state of Oklahoma for adult use or recreational use is what some may have called that. And it was an astounding... I like great adjectives. It's very theatrical and builds up, right? Astounding, overwhelming, right. No, for that, which speaks volumes for the state and the state's program at this time, and the people that went out. There's personal opinions all the way around with that. Let's kind of go in on this real quick about the vote. That was a really big thing for the last 6 months leading up, and we wouldn't be the medical cannabis marketplace for the state of Oklahoma, and then there are others if we don't talk about some of the things that are happening. So let's dive into that. Petty Fox, what are your thoughts on that, man? From a patient standpoint, from
Oklahoma,
personal, what do you got?
Well, Oklahoma's really bad about showing out to vote in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oklahoma's especially bad when it comes to special elections.
Yeah.
And they're especially bad when there's only one thing that they're voting about as well. So the people that are super passionate are going to be out there.
Right.
The people that, they have thoughts about it but don't want to make time aren't gonna make the time. And I think the voices that are super passionate got out there and just voted no. Especially if you look at how the votes went based on the counties and whatnot.
Yeah.
The rural counties leaned heavily this way.
Yeah.
And even Tulsa and Oklahoma County, it was still leaning no, if I remember correct, looking at the map.
Yeah, I think it was still that most of the votes came from those areas, or excuse me, was it most of the votes came from those two counties, or was it more yeses came from those two counties?
More yeses.
I think it was more yeses came from those two counties, but the rurals were more no, and as you know, in Oklahoma, there's a plethora of rules. There's that's just what it is. But that's. I thought the same thing. Being an adult now and actually learning about politics, learning about when to speak your mind, how to say things, and staying up with what's happening in your current events in your world, right? And this was something in my world, and it's unique because. First off, I never voted on a Tuesday. Let me just go ahead and throw that out there. I never did the special elections. I only turned out for the major elections. Nothing like you, kind of picking on what you were saying, nothing tickled my fancy enough that personally that I needed to go and do it. So, I did turn out for this one, which was the first, but it was just, wow. You know what I mean? That's, if it didn't affect me, I don't think I would have.
I was a pessimist, but I didn't think it was going to go through this time, to be quite honest. I didn't expect it to not go
far?
through this hard. It
Yeah,
was-
yeah. I didn't think of how much it may have been or how close the race would have
Yeah.
been, but
I was expecting no, not fuck no.
Doc, what are your? I mean, obviously you're a doctor, and I mean, no bias in there, but your personal opinion, you know, like what are your thoughts on it? Like, in general?
Of course, I am a little biased on it, you know,
Ah,
because of the medical part. But I actually thought it was going to pass. I did.
Yeah?
I thought it was going to pass. Yeah, because I mean, historically, if you look at all the recent, adult
true.
use, recreational use bills that have come up, all of them have passed. Every
That
single
is
one.
also something. Yeah,
I mean,
Oklahoma's
including
the first that did that.
Exactly,
That
we're the
was a
first
no
that
on the
didn't.
first.
Yeah, and especially with
Excuse
our
me, didn't.
over, there's a huge amount of people that voted yes for 788.
Right.
I'm surprised.
Why do you think there
truthfully.
was such a difference between like the medical and the recreational? Why this shift?
I think truthfully that people see that we're not ready. I don't
think we're not
Oklahoma's
ready?
I don't think Oklahoma's ready because I don't think we have we don't have the stuff in place
True.
to take care of a recreational market, especially with the testing.
Yeah.
The testing
Yeah.
is huge.
Yeah. Testing's huge.
The oversee of the of the grows of the processing of all that stuff. It's huge. I mean,
Why
there's
would there
not
be
a lot
such a
of
change
oversight.
between recreational and medical? Just like more people using it,
More
just
people using,
product in
more
general?
availability, more that kind of stuff. So I think that's what a lot of it was. And I even talked to a couple of patients this week that said, "Hey, I voted no," and I was like,
That's
and,
interesting.
And I was,
Yeah.
and that's the same
Super.
thing they said. I don't think we're ready for it. We're not ready because we're not really ready for medical that much.
True, true.
We're pretty much. I mean, we're a
only,
medical
what, 5
/
years?
recreational market.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get a card. Truthfully, I mean, through the state. That's the state's deal.
Right.
Super easy, super easy to get a card with no pre-qualifying conditions, and then we're also we have one of the most abundant plethoras of different things too because
Oh, yeah,
of-
our marketplace
because
is,
of the free
crazy.
market that we opened.
Yeah.
Strictly like volume of
yeah.
dispensaries compared to like
Ex-
I remember one
anywhere.
statistic I heard like we had more than Colorado and California
Probably
combined.
combined.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
doubt it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know it's more than California, and
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah.
they've been wrecked for a long time.
They
So
have.
I bet it is probably more than
Do you
Colorado.
think there'd be
and-
less dispensaries if it was recreational, or would it stay about the same?
I bet it would stay the same for a little while, and then
Yeah.
it'll probably decrease. You'd have to, because
Yeah.
certain ones would get the better stuff, and then other ones would go to the wayside. But I mean,
Well, the
we
way our
have
state's
so
going right
many.
now.
My
It's
God.
like our state's going pretty crazy in the sense of the prohibition. You know what I mean? Prohibition for alcohol took like 15 years, right? And
Took a
that's
while.
for that. I mean. And that was an estimate, but I know it was a long,
long
time.
time.
It
It's
was
longer
a long
than that,
time.
but
It's
it's a long
longer than the
time, yeah.
4 years, 5
Yeah.
years, excuse me, that we've had a medical market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Well,
then
the
if we just
prohibition
go,
for cannabis is over 80 years. So,
yeah, I was gonna say,
so,
like,
yeah.
we've been waiting for
Yeah.
a while. So, like, to go and think that the state, for me personally, to think that the state was ready to add more with what's current, like you were mentioning, there's some different things. It's testing, and then understanding if some of these businesses are accurate businesses, right? Like with the moratorium that was put in November, that starts to hold the licenses. So there's no new licenses going in, right? So that's good. We're not increasing more dispensaries or anything, but at the same time, like that number's dwindling because of all the things the system is starting to actually enact, like the OMMA sending inspections and like actually doing Facebook Lives and stuff like that to talk about what's actually going on, right? I kind of see it starting to become like any other, what would you call it, regulated industry, right? Like alcohol, like you have specific things it takes for you to go and open a bar to go and get the liquor to then now, sell it however you're doing it. So, and same as any other business, a restaurant or, anything. So I kind of feel like the dwindling of that will be pretty cool because while we have so many and it's so free, for those that are wanting to see it, they get an opportunity to do it so easily.
It
You
seems
know what I mean?
counterintuitive, the fact that recreational requires more regulation. It seems like it would loosen things up, which is kind of the idea when you hear recreational.
Yeah.
It's just like anybody, anything, but no, like Doc was saying, it's there's just going to be more volume, just going to have to be the more testing. It's got to be more checks to make sure it's, safe, for the users there.
End user at the end of the game, at the end of the day. So I think that's like, I mean, to see some of the things that our state has done, I'm still waiting to see the other stuff. Like, we go to other markets. I don't know. I mean, I go to other markets. I've been to other states and seen their programs, but really just, been in cannabis for a while. So, like, just
I go
an
up to
example.
Colorado quite a bit.
Let's go.
and
Like,
I have to drive quite a bit to go to, like, the next dispensary.
Truth. It's a
Oklahoma,
truth.
I can pass by 3 on the same block almost.
and not even know that you just passed them, but they
Yeah.
didn't put that sign, or you don't see the green to indicate it, right?
If it's
I'm
an
just
old
like,
gas
what?
station,
What is
not
that?
for long.
No, definitely Oklahoma. Shout out old gas stations that are converted. Like, those are some of my
Which
favorite
I do
places.
appreciate the hustle that happens there. Like,
Truth.
we should have, more small businesses like that. But I also understand that we have more dispensaries in
True.
California, which
Yeah,
has
yeah.
significantly more people.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we're
So
already
many
seeing
more
kind of a
people.
consolidate. Yeah.
I see. I started. I think,
So
like you were
many.
saying, to carry that. I think we're starting to see the dwindling of some of those things, right? Because there's a
Yeah.
lot of businesses I've noticed start just moving. You know what I mean? Like, they were in, and then all of a sudden you don't see them. It's like a Blockbuster or a Red Box, right? It's just like, oh shit, they're gone. What? I just was over
I hope
there.
it's not going to Blockbuster route.
I hope it doesn't go the Blockbuster route. Whoever the Red Box is,
No more weed,
sign
guys.
in. Sign in. Do that connection. Don't weed them out, please. No pun intended, weed them out. That was great. Well, guys, that was interesting. I love that. That's awesome perspectives on the vote. And then, like, okay, so let's go into this real quick. Now that the vote is there, right, in this current event, we see that. We know that it's a no, right? It's not no forever. We know, I believe it's going to be happening, in another few years, right, as the things start to take hold, like the moratorium and the regulations and the testing and all this other stuff, right? I feel like
I think it
it'll
might
open
get it might take federally for it to get recreational for Oklahoma. I was shocked whenever medical happened, just because I've got my views of Oklahoma. It's been my home for a long time, but I also understand there's a certain old school way of thinking, especially in certain pockets of Oklahoma. So I was shocked whenever medical was 788.
Yeah.
And I thought that we weren't going to have to wait. We were going to have to wait for federal, for it to even be medical in this case. So in
remember
terms
that
of like
time.
recreational, I think we might have to wait till federal, which any day now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, for that's I believe it will happen, in our lifetime. I can say
our
that.
lifetime.
You know what I
In our
mean? Like, I
lifetime
can
it will. I
say
think in our
that. I think
lifetime.
I don't think it's like
so
super
much-
far
there's
fetched
so much
for.
money
There's
pushing
a
it
there's a
back, though. So
plethora
much money
of
pushing it back.
it going both ways, going both ways, right? Because I mean, I speak a lot personally. For me, is I'm a patient. You know what I mean? Like, I recognize that. So, like, my first thought process and go ahead is in the patient's mind, because that's what I'm looking at it for. So when we look at it, then transitioning, because before I was a patient, or let me rephrase it, before I was diagnosed, to then say I was a patient, right? I didn't even understand what I was using it for. I felt that way. And now it's like the world is all there. Every state that comes on, starts with the medical program. And I think it's just like anything else. It's education, right? It's introduction. It's understanding that these people get in general that will then take their sway, whether it is a recreational market, adult use market, or a medical market, right? Because at the end of the day, well, it's like you said, there's this quote that you used, Doc, medicine is not supposed to be felt, right? So when you're doing things and then you don't feel the other things, and you're like taking your medicine almost, and everybody's doing that in life. So watching it just kind of grow and take this wave, I think that as long as education starts to put itself out there, it's gonna be a beautiful thing, regardless of when the time happens. We get the opportunity though with this cool ass market in Oklahoma. I'm in, like, again, traveling to other markets, like I was mentioning before. We go to Colorado, we go to California, we've gone to even markets like Missouri and Arkansas, Louisiana, Nevada, Illinois. Like, we've been to a lot of places, New Mexico.
I keep forgetting about Missouri.
Yeah, like, and they just passed. Like, speak on that. Like, that just happened in December, and they're now 3 months in. And I believe I just read an article today that they've got.
In February.
Are they?
That's
Are they medical or rec?
So
They're rec now.
They're
yeah,
rec?
they're
They're
rec
rec
now.
and medical.
Missouri gets rec before we do.
Missouri got rec before we did.
They did, and it's a wild.
And they have reciprocity.
They have
Amazingly enough,
reciprocity
we can
there.
actually go in with our medical cards.
That's true.
too.
That's
in
true.
Missouri when we're there.
Yeah. So that's one of the cool things about, like, I think that would be really awesome if Oklahoma did that. If they were to get
At least do
reciprocity.
that. Yeah,
if they were
It'd be
to,
a
I
good
mean,
stepping stone as
if they were
well,
to
just to
do
show other
reciprocity.
markets, people coming in. Like, it's not, we do that for a few months. Everything's on fire. Why don't we just go
continue
rec,
it. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that it would be a good opening to letting even those people that come in. Again, the other states that did it, like Colorado, I mean, personal take, they did it with the intent to bring money back to the state, which it did. Like, if you go traveling through Colorado highways, they've got the sponsored by something, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just unique to watch a cannabis company doing the trash pickup or something like that, right? And then you go to the tourist stuff, like I'm a tourist. It's all top end, like, it's, the streets aren't dirty, and I mean, there's maybe homeless, but it's not like they're attacking you, you know what I mean? It's just super unique to see, again, different markets of the way cannabis is starting to take shape, and so, dude, that's a good topic, guys. Good topic. So we talked about, let's transition out of that, man. I don't like politics too much, man. I'm glad we get out of there.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
God, listen. So this mug is awesome. I got this mug.
about this mug.
This mug I got. I was just thinking about it because I don't really have too many drinks in my sake or on in my hands. And this one right here, I got this mug with Doc.
That's
in
Smiley.
mine. It's Doc's mug.
Yep,
but
that's
it's one of the
Smiley.
big boy mugs. And so,
his name's Smiley, though.
Smiley.
His name is, yeah.
Well,
His name's
I
Smiley.
and it's Cigars International. Well, the thing is that I thought it looked like me because it's the first time you guys will see. I tried to do this new thing. I know this isn't about me, but it is about me right now. Just so you throw that in there, okay? So you know about me. Like, this is the first time that I have, like, this facial hair. If you guys you want to zoom in on that real quick? Like, I've done pretty good. But if you can
zoom in on this mug. It's actually kind of matching him right now.
Mug, right? Like, that's almost identical. So I thought that was and this was
So one of those,
not
like, heated
scripted.
mugs where, like, whenever you heat it up, it changes.
It changes, yeah.
So you heat it up, the beer
his
comes out.
cigar gets brighter, is what happens. And so I just thought that was super unique. Just so you guys know how my mind works sometimes. That was not planned, and just so you guys get
MCM mugs win.
yeah, we're getting those. Those are coming next, guys. MCM merch coming too. Make sure to follow us, like us, share us, do all of the things that all of those video guys do. Down below, up top, sideways, whatever. You know how to do that stuff, guys. Okay, so current events, guys. Current events. We just talked about the vote. That was last week. Something else happened last week. It was Mario
Day.
Mario Day. That's what it was.
Mario
was
Day.
Mario Day.
Mario Day.
And then
Yeah,
Women's
for
Day
Mario.
too. But let's first go before we talk about Mario, because Mario is a superstar. We did recognize that. Let's talk about Women's Day, man. Like,
Oh, yeah, we had that first.
We
We
did
had that
have
too.
Women's Day first. I mean, they had
That was
us,
on the same
right?
day as
So,
we did our
that's
show last
kind
week.
of how that happened. So, did you take care of the women in your life?
I did my best.
That's a great answer. I like that. I like that. What about you, sir?
I would hope so.
Good. I mean, they're still around, right? That means the same for me, guys. Listen, my wife is still here. My mom's still. Everybody's still around, and I don't have any thumbs down. So I feel like Mother's Day and Women's Day. Every day is Women's Day to me. Like, you don't need one day. You get it every day. If I had enough flowers and I took care of, my growing, I would get flowers out all the time. My flowers die, and I burn them. That's just me. So enough about that. Let's go into Mario's Day. Mario Day was the next day, Doc. Tell me more. Like, you're a big collector. So like, Mario's Day. That was, when was that?
That was May 10th or March 10th. Excuse me,
March
March 10th. MAR 10. So for Mario. They should
Oh,
have.
that's what that meant,
They should have
huh?
let the.
Yeah.
They should have had the movie out because it's coming out like next week.
Oh,
I
is
think
it?
or something. The new movie is.
They
yeah.
missed their
The new-
chance.
The new Super Mario. I know they missed.
Marketing
they
for
totally
Mario,
missed that.
you missed your
Totally
chance.
I didn't even know it was Mario Day until I saw something on like YouTube or something.
This
popped
is what's
up.
crazy
Who
about
knows?
like
Nintendo might be watching this stream.
They might be. You never
Nintendo.
know.
If you're paying
Yeah,
attention,
Hashtag Nintendo.
hashtag Nintendo guys down there. If you,
You can
would
send us
hashtag
anything
it,
you want for free.
we will
we'll
take your
it,
merch.
and we will,
I mean,
we'll play with it.
Just because you said that, we've got the
Free
Super
marketing
Nintendo over
idea.
there.
We just want half.
Yep,
We
exactly.
just want half, and a game system or two.
Yeah, the newest
Preferably
one,
5.
whatever it is. When it's not out yet.
Yeah. So I like Mario's Super Nintendo. That was another day. The next day that we had was Pi Day, right? Like
Pi Day.
that was
314,
314,
yeah,
right?
314,
Which is the mathematical pi, right?
Yep.
Because I was a little.
They still have pie.
See, okay,
You have pi for Pi Day.
See, I didn't know
Something
I didn't
circular.
know the difference earlier. Doc explained to
You
me.
don't
There's
just get
two
around a
pies.
count. I mean,
No, you just okay.
maybe
good,
some
good.
of that.
Maybe you have apple turnover. I mean, whatever. That makes me happy. Okay, so we have Pi Day, and then what's
Today.
today is
Today's
what
the
day?
Ides of March.
Oh, really?
The
Yes.
Ides of March is today. Yep.
What is that?
March 15th. That's from whenever Julius Caesar was killed by Augustus.
Oh, yeah.
Brutus. Et
Brutus.
tu, Brute. Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, pay attention. Maybe you guys need to
Ides
pull
of
up
March.
your Greek
Roman
history,
history,
your
Roman
Roman
history.
history.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, history.
History.
We need to pull up history. I do like. I can nothing. I have nothing on that. Have nothing on that. So, well, shit. Petty Fox, like, catch me up with you, brother. You were gone last week.
Yeah.
Can you fill the folks in on like? Give us a little bit about you. You're here now. You never really get to speak. Tell them about you.
I play in a bunch of bands in town, and one of the bands took out of town. We played South by Southwest last week.
Shout out South by Southwest. Yes.
Tulsa Remote took us down there. A bunch
Let's
of other
go.
Tulsa FMAC. A lot of people helped out. A lot of good bands came down there to basically just showcase what Tulsa does, and I had a fantastic time. It's my second time down at South by since COVID.
Dang. Yeah, because it's been going now, what, 2 years now since COVID? It's 2023 now?
Yeah, it was
So,
2020 was the
shut down, and they didn't do another one in 2021.
Yeah, I was supposed to play
did they?
2020, and that was the first festival that canceled. So, like in the big festival circuit, South by is kind of like
That's the next.
it's the one that like basically kicks off. And once South by canceled, like I have no work this summer. This is
And we've got through that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that jumping ledge right there. Jeez. So shout out by Southwest. I am excited to go. I have yet to go. I didn't go this year. I almost went a couple of times, but now that I'm getting a little bit more into the scene, I think next year for sure. You might catch MCM with its own place down there. So, like, I mean, just speaking it into existence right now, but, like, I think that'll be a great thing for us to do.
decriminalized in Austin.
Yeah,
You gotta-
Austin's a crazy place.
10 and 2 the rest of the way through Texas. But
Yeah, listen, it's Texas. It's always. Oh, yeah. So, man, that makes me happy right there. That makes me happy. Okay, so now you guys are back. You said you got that now that you've done South by Southwest, which is a huge kickoff, right? What do we got going on next, brother?
So with that band, we got a show next week. Where are we playing at? Thelma's here in Tulsa. We got a show there.
Shout out Thelma's is a new spot over there off
Yeah.
of, what is that, Admiral?
First Street.
First?
I think, yeah, First Street and then Admiral. Or maybe it's off Admiral. Admiral First Street, one
Listen,
of those.
you guys
yeah.
can find it. Shout
Yeah.
out Thelma. We don't know them
Yeah.
just yet, but I've been following them. They're getting a lot of buzz. Local
It's one
artists.
of my favorite little venues, man. It's
Really?
just, it feels like somebody's living room in a way.
Man,
with
that's
a bar.
always a good build. Living room with the bar.
And then that Saturday, I'm going down to Oklahoma City. I'm playing with my band, Dr. Junior. We're playing this weed festival, Alpaca Palooza.
Alpaca Palooza down in the city. Yeah, that's happening this weekend, right? Or next weekend?
It's the 25th.
Next weekend. Next
Yeah.
weekend that's happening, March 25th. And Women's Month. Speaking of, shout out Women's Month, Women's History Month. We're going to have more women on our show the next 2 days. Not to take away you lovely gents by any means, right? But we will have 2 more women coming on so that way we can round out the rest of history, women's history, excuse me. But, you know, every day is a Women's History Day. That's what we like to do. There it is. God, you heard it, wife. You heard it. I love you. So you got alpaca, and then that's March, right? Spring break's almost up. Anything happening in April?
I've got a residency up at Mercury Lounge.
Oh,
you
Merc.
can catch me there every Monday.
All right.
So that'll be a good time.
Catch Petty on Mondays at the Merc. If you don't know, the Merc is a stepping stone spot in Tulsa for sure. Like a lot of people have played there, and then I've heard like a lot of people go other places from playing there. So like shout out the Merc. We're sure to have them on here pretty soon, I'm sure. So we love music. We love that. Heck yeah.
And bunch of festivals and stuff. I'll have to break out the calendar. April's busy for me, man.
Man, I like that. That means money. Because I remember just a little bit ago you
Means
said
shows.
COVID shut down. Somebody wasn't working.
Yeah, I had to find work again, and it's nice to be playing.
Listen,
It's really nice to be
we're so
playing.
blessed and we're so thankful to have you playing with us and playing for us, man.
It's a
Like
joy,
I
man.
mean, you're slaying it over there, and I can't wait to get more shows with you, dude. This is gonna be great, guys. Make sure you follow Petty Fox. Look them up if you don't know. Watch our show. Tell 'em
Shout
where
out
to
all
get
the
it.
other bands as well. Got Slow Cozy, Damien Shade and Boom Bap Chorus, and Dr. Junior, which kind of fits the. We normally just play weed festivals, so if you've been to one in Oklahoma, you've probably seen us.
Nice. Man,
So-
listen, I liked all those names. We were just talking about this earlier. Me and Doc was like talking about aliases, right? Like, you know, Petty Fox, badass alias. You know what I mean? Some of these band names, badass
Yeah.
aliases.
My girl does not like the petty part of it.
No.
So I'm not petty. And you would say that, wouldn't you?
Our women always find the differences, right? You're not petty at all. Oh, I love that. I love that. Doc, like, what's going on with you, man? Give us some current events. What do you got going on? You're always doing things. We know you as the doc, and you are, you know, the leading in the medical. But tell us more about yourself. What are you into? What do you got going on the rest of this month and coming up?
Gosh, what do we have going on? We got flea market coming up this weekend.
Oh,
Since I'm like Perry said, I'm a collector. I dabble in the collectibles, toys, and stuff like that, and have for over 20 years. So we'll be out the Tulsa Flea Market this weekend. So at the fairgrounds, the pavilion.
Expo Center, right?
So not the pavilion. Sorry, it's the actual expo building, the big one.
You're going to be in
So,
the building?
Yeah, we'll be up there and on the I think it's upper level.
Okay,
from
cool.
like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Catch
on
Doc
Saturday.
there. That's what's up.
We'll have a couple booths out there. We've been watching lots of auctions. We've been buying lots of stuff. So,
And just to tell you guys about the stuff, like, Doc is very modest, right? Doc is a collector. He is a doctor by day. By evening, this man is a collector. I'm talking about he finds some of the coolest, craziest stuff and then, you know, resells it, you know, or keeps it. And I tell you, some of the most coolest autograph stuff, I mean, when you talk about autographs, the man has autographs from everywhere from, sports autographs to artists to, you know, musicians, like everything, right? Then he has toys. Let me tell you, this Lego collection. Speaking of, Lego's coming to Tulsa. If you don't know it, it's
Yeah,
coming to
Woodland
Tulsa,
Hills, yeah,
Woodland
this
Hills
summer.
Mall. I say that because every time we try to go and see the Legos, they say you have to be a kid.
Yeah.
I am a kid at heart. Like, I don't understand why we can't see the Legos. Damn you, Legos.
that's
Don't
one in
say that
Kansas
to him,
City,
but yeah.
that's one in
anyway,
Kansas City.
but Doc has like the craziest Lego stuff, and so that's going to be really cool. That's why I say he is a collector amongst collectors. So at the flea market Saturday, Doc, that's cool. Tell us some more. What else you got?
And then what we got? Denver coming up. Well,
Denver?
actually, Colorado Springs coming up the end of this month. We're doing the hemp, or we're going to the hemp show, right?
Yes, it's the
show.
NOCO Hemp
Expo.
Convention or Hemp Expo,
Yeah, that
and
makes
it's
some
in Colorado Springs at
NOCO
the
Expo?
Beaumont.
Yeah.
The NOCO Expo.
NOCO
That's what it
Expo.
is. It's the
Gotcha.
NOCO
Speaking
Expo.
of good names, man, I like that.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I got the email. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about you, Bubba. Hold on just a second. So it's the NOCO Hemp Expo. Man, that does kind of roll off the tongue, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
right.
And this is our second year to attend, and we go because you don't know. I'll just inform you. We are into hemp. We are very much into hemp, and then utilizing the product for all the multi-uses. And so we're going to go and learn more for our state, learn more for ourselves, so that way we can share it and get it out there for others. But that is happening in 2 weeks, actually. We're going to Colorado Springs. It's in, shout out NOCO Expo, Colorado Springs 2023 at the Broadmoor, which was one of my top places to visit, actually. Guys, you don't know this, but a friend of mine had made mention of this beautiful hotel, beautiful, like, resort. And I was like, meh. But all of a sudden, I looked at it and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do it." So it just so happens the NOCO Expo is there, and that's gonna be really cool to see then.
Cool.
And I love Colorado. Speaking of Colorado, going real quick back to what we were talking about, the money going into Colorado helped to change things. So like when you go touring places and cities and the roads and just the tourism from the, obviously it was a beautiful state before, but I believe cannabis made it even more. And so that's just my personal take on it. But, like, that's where we go back to that conversation. You can see the money go and actually change the dynamic of the state, which makes more people go to the state more than just, not.
Yeah.
So shout out Colorado, one of my favorite places. Like, I just love the mountains, and I think it's elevation. So enough about me. Doc, okay, you got the Hemp Expo. No, you're not done yet. I'm not done with you yet. You have the Hemp Expo, and then what else you got?
I don't know.
No, you don't
Other
know.
than that, yeah. Just
I mean, are you not going to be making some wine and stuff? Like, what else you got going for you personally? Like, you're a great man. You got all types of cool stuff too.
I plan on sleeping a lot. I don't know what to say on that one. I don't really have a lot to do on that one.
Okay.
So
yeah.
we're going to be making some more CBD though.
Truth.
I mean, we're going to we're still doing that. We got to get some labels in, but just saying. Well, we're making some more CBD.
that
We
hurt my side,
we got our
guys.
CBG coming out. We got a
New product.
got our CBG, our CBD
Tell them
coming
actually.
out.
Go ahead and tell people what CBG is.
So CBG is another cannabinoid. It actually really helps with anti-inflammatory. No, helps with anti-inflammatory, and it's. We've noticed that for a lot of people, it actually helps to give you energy as well. So we have noticed you can get quite a bit of energy from the CBG also. Also helps with cancer. There's some cancer stuff in there too. Here's our CBG. It's in an orange package.
And then,
And we got some of our other ones too. Our CBN is going to be the one that helps you sleep and helps you relax, helps with anxiety, and then our regular CBD products as well that we have in different strengths, along with the pet CBD.
I hope I put those
Shameless
out properly.
plugs.
Shameless plugs.
Shameless plugs.
Yeah, I mean, I like the show Shameless. It was one of my favorites for a while.
And we're still doing our recommendations
Yeah.
through the clinic and through
Speaking
virtually.
of,
So yeah, we're still.
I
doing
mean,
those.
we might as well do it. I mean, we are a medical state,
Yeah.
so while you're still there, if you need your renewal or you need a new patient card or you've had anybody thinking, Dr. Jason Sims with THC2,
I'm actually hitting you guys up soon on that for my renewal.
pow
so-
pow. I mean, it's the
Awesome.
easiest, simplest process. I'm telling you. Just go to the website, www.thc2thc, Tom, Harry, Cat, number 2.com, and then just complete the intake. Like, follow it. Either do a in-person or do a renewal, and either way, look at that. Oh, that's good. You're going to be taken care of. So check that out. That'll be great, guys. Thank you for that, Doc. I don't know. I thought I did great with that. Like, this is, I'm learning. This is what a live show does. And
More
this is what you
symmetry.
get. Symmetry, definitely. Let's get together. Boom. There. Now you're set. Now
Ruined
you're
it.
set.
No, just kidding.
So for me, because we talked about these guys and what they've got
What you
going
got
on,
going on,
that's a great question. I'm going to eat some food because you got to eat. I mean, not more than you need to drink, but and I mean water.
Yeah.
That's what I mean
Yeah.
by hydration.
Hydrate.
Or IVs, aka THC2. Again, shameless plug. You can get your IVs there as well. So that's really awesome. You can do that if you didn't know. But this week, we've got St. Patrick's Day happening tomorrow, right? I believe that's tomorrow, the 17th.
Friday,
Is it Friday?
I think, right?
Yeah,
Is it
today's,
Friday?
today's the 15th.
Today's 15th.
Oh, yeah, it's the 17th. I was right.
Friday.
The 17th, yes.
Yes,
Friday is
that's
the
Friday.
17th. So we got St. Patrick's Day happening this week. That's going to be really cool. I like always wearing green. It's my favorite color. I like eating my greens. I like smoking my greens. So that, and I mean on my hasty bake grill is what I meant by smoking my greens. For those that don't know.
Sure.
And so we've got that. I think I'm going to shoot down to Texas to go visit some family. It's spring break right now. My boys have spring break. I've got a senior. Oh, that's cool.
Something broke.
Something. Hey, listen, yeah, don't worry about it. That's
Just
we got it. Don't worry about
That's
it.
Bill.
Yeah, that's Bill. So I love my face. This delay down here. That's cool. I didn't see that. Okay, so we've got St. Patrick's Day. Then we go into a couple weeks. We're going to go to Colorado. That's going to be awesome. Learn about some hemp, which is going pretty good.
More
Then
about some hemp.
more about some hemp. And then after that, we've got April. We've got my 3rd-year anniversary, actually. So my 3-year anniversary. Thank you so much. Shout out Mrs. Jones. April 20th actually is our wedding date. So that's going to be, I'm trying to get to Hawaii. I don't know. I mean, if I speak it into existence, it may happen. I'm not trying to discourage that, babe. You heard it. I'm trying. All right. So I think
I better be going there.
So I have that, but
Just
like
saying.
other than that, like we've got, I'd like to check out Hamilton. I've been thinking about that. I thought that would be pretty cool. That's at the PAC right now. Other than the end of the month, those are really the next current events we've got on our next shows, which I'm excited about to round out Women's History Month. We've got Jackalope Farms. I'm excited about them. They do an organic style growing. I've been following them for a while. Super excited about meeting them. Then we've got this Canacult.ok. Super stoked to see what they were talking about. Oh, and then we've got Middies. I think I say it right. Middies, right? Is it Middies? All right, it's Middies Medicinals. Forgive me, Middy. I apologize. It's Middies Medicinal who's going to be coming out. And then the last one is Fika Things. Fika Things. Fika Things. Fika Things. All right, we're talking about names. I like that. I can't wait to get them on because I'm trying to figure out how they got that name. Like, there's some things out there that yeah. Ficatines. Like, all right, I like that. Yeah. So those are the next shows. The next 2 months is what we have, or excuse me, the next 2 weeks. So you can look out to make sure follow us online too, because we're going to start changing the way we're bringing you guys content. We're going to have some new commercials. We're going to have some different live videos. We're going to have some different excerpts so you can see behind the scenes all these different things about us. So I want to tell you guys, thank you for following us. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for seeing what we're getting into. Just be patient with us. This is live and this is completely new. Nobody else is doing this. Nobody. So make sure you stay with us, guys. That's really, I think we did it. We did some current events. Had some good, real conversations. You got anything you got your fans that want to know before we head out? Like, you had some shout outs, you got some, event things. What do you got?
Yeah, I guess come see us next Thursday over at Thelma's, and then next Saturday if you're in the OKC area, playing at the Farmers Market for Alpaca Palooza. So.
Yeah. And, man, I'm going to get this guy here. I mean, guys, he's here right now, but I'm talking about I'm going to get him at a show so y'all can come see him local, not just at Thelma's. No offense, Thelma's, you're straight. But I think we need to see him play more, whether it's with his bands or it's by itself. The man's talented, guys. The man is talented. I can't wait for you guys to see more about him. So, Doc, what do you got? You got something you want to tell your patients, tell your friends, let anybody know? Anything?
Just come. If you're needing a renewal, come get your renewal. If you're needing a new card, come get your new card. The bill didn't pass, so you're going to have to get a card now because, we're not going to be able to decide again on rec for a little while, for at least 3 years.
So you might as well see you?
Might as well come see us.
That's
get your stuff done and look into the CBD because, that's part of the
CBD.
deal. CBD. Go get your CBD. Get your CBD.
Yeah, you got to try that out.
And remember to drink your Ovaltine.
And drink your Ovaltine. So I've always wanted to have a jingle. If anybody wants to give a shout out to making
You
that.
have it. Drink your Ovaltine.
Drink your Ovaltine. There it is. There it is, guys.
Mic drop.
Boom. I have nothing to say to you guys.
That's all I have to say about that.
What? You
Drink
heard
your
me.
Ovaltine. You heard what I said. I said what I said. Oh yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get ready to we're gonna cash me outside. We're gonna get ready to wrap this thing up. I just want you guys to know again, super appreciative. What I have to tell you is make sure to tune in every Wednesday, 7 p.m. We're going live. Multiple guests, multiple new things, multiple people. Topics about the marketplace of cannabis here in Oklahoma, the medical side of everything. Make sure to tune in, guys. My name is Perry Jones III. I'm here with MCM, Petty Fox, Dr. Jason Sims. Guys, we appreciate you. Send your comments, send your questions, send your likes, all of that stuff. Let us know. We look forward to seeing you guys next week. Thank you, guys. It's always